Shot glass of recovery, working the 12 steps, listen to fellows speak. You can listen in wherever you may be. It's a shot glass of recovery.
Hello, and thanks for joining me again on a shot glass of recovery as we practice the prayer of St. Francis as a meditation practice. So today we are on part 6a, doubt versus faith. Where there is doubt, may I bring faith, or I may bring faith. Doubt. The definition: to be uncertain about, in opinion, hold questionable, hesitate to believe, distrust, to fear, be apprehensive about, a feeling of uncertainty about the truth, reality, or nature of something. I hear a lot of fear in doubt. So thoughts or considerations for the day ahead, when you're thinking about your plans and you're asking God into your morning meditation, ask God to direct and focus you on your objectives. What are they today? Are they focused in faith or more on doubt? Am I lacking confidence in the reliability of my own personality, thoughts, actions, and motives as I preview my day? Do I have dreams, and have I set goals to attain them? Do I believe I can reach them? Do I believe I can get through today successfully? That's where the faith comes in. Is there anyone with whom I am acquainted that I have the power to help to realize their hopes and dreams and goals? Is there something about myself that I am in doubt of today? Am I feeling an impending sense of doom or disaster? Am I questioning reality today? Am I afraid of what may lie ahead for me? Am I withholding something from someone which I may need to share with them today? What can I do to prepare for actions this day? There's a lot there with doubt. When we are doubting things or doubting circumstances in our own life, we are definitely demonstrating a lack of faith, a lack of trust. And we all say the step 3 prayer. And we all talk about how we are willing to turn our will and our life over to the care of the God of our own understanding. But this is a good practice to get into, to question that. Am I fully in faith today? Do I believe that if I give these things over, these fears, these worries, these doubts, to a power greater than myself, that God will act in my favor, even when it doesn't look like it? So before we begin the second half and we get into our meditation, we look at the second half. The opposite of doubt is faith. Entertain the idea of faith as a possible solution for doubt. What does faith mean? Confidence or trust in a person or thing. It is a belief in God or in the doctrines of teachings of religion. Belief in anything as a code of ethics, standards of merit. Meditation. Today, to the best of my ability, I will act in faith. When in doubt, I will contact someone whom I trust, and I will tell my story and my truth about my circumstances, thoughts, or feelings. This is a wonderful reminder that you have a sponsor, a living, breathing human being who has felt like you felt and thought like you thought, and they also suffer from the disease of alcoholism. Call them, tell them your truth, and ask them how they get through and how they deal with life on life's terms, how they incorporate God into their day. I will seek someone who has success in the area of living in which I am troubled for their counsel, and then follow it instead of make excuses. Another great direction on working with a sponsor. I will not leave my plans to chance. When faced with a major decision, I will stop and think. I love the acronym IRS: investigate, research, scrutinize. Give it to God and then decide. Or the triple P's: pause, pray, and proceed. I will recite the 7th step prayer when I feel my strength slipping or doubt creeping in. If I question someone's comments or motives, I will take it upon myself to search out the facts, not create fiction in my head. I will discuss this with my sponsor and take the answers to God in meditation in an effort to discover the reality and truth of the situation. I will remember my brain, not facts, are usually the source of information that leads to discomfort, anger, bitterness, resentment, and self-pity. I will remind myself that some things are just not my business. I will ask God to direct my thinking. I will recall the experiences of others and have confidence and trust that their results can be mine as well. And I've never seen a greater evidence of that than in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, when I have seen broken people like myself come in having no faith and having no hope. And yet we look around the rooms and we see people who talk about the same feelings that we are currently having, they once had and no longer have. And I can begin to develop faith that if it happened for them, it can happen for me. So let's take our 10 minutes of meditation to think about the day ahead. Perhaps you're struggling with something, you want to give it over to God in this moment. Take your 3 big deep breaths and let the music envelop you. All right, as you come out of your meditation, you might want to pause and revisit the rest of this tonight as you review faith at the end of your day. You could even go back and begin the music over and meditate on it. And ask yourself these questions. Was I able to meet and complete my plans for the day? Did I accomplish my goals? Or did I fail to act in good faith today? Was I reluctant to believe someone today? Did I want to believe the worst? Did someone question my character or my credibility today? Did I question myself? Was I mistrusting of anyone or of a specific circumstance today? Do I have fear right now? Was I trusting and relying upon God? Was I feeling apprehensive, insecure, inadequate, or inferior at any moment? Did I fail to do something today because I doubted myself, my abilities, the outcome, or God? Did I change an opinion or a decision to suit a more dominant personality today, even though I strongly disagreed with them and maybe even lacked respect for them? What about if I changed my opinion to suit my own needs? Was I acting in faith of a power greater than myself or trying to manipulate an outcome? Where did I fall short today? Don't forget to make your notations in your Step 10 and 11 notebook as you go over your nightly inventory. Don't forget to send me a message at ashotglassofrecovery@gmail.com if you have a birthday or anniversary you want mentioned, or you have a show idea, or if you'd like, you can get me to email you a copy of the Prayer of St. Francis Daily Practice Meditation and Reflection cards that I have made available on Google. If you are in a position to contribute and support the show so we can continue to pay for the platform that hosts this podcast, you can send us a contribution at paypal.me/a shot glass of recovery. It's not required, but of course it is appreciated. Thanks so much for joining me on
Shot glass of recovery.